Alright, so a couple steps to primitive fire making method, and it all works on friction. You know, everybody knows what happens when you rub your hands together, you create heat. Well, that's essentially all this is doing, but I'm also adding wood dust to the mix. So put a couple parts aside for now. I have a spindle and I have a fireboard. Now what's happening is I'm applying downward pressure to this apparatus. And as I'm spinning it back and forth, little fibers of wood dust are rubbing off of the bottom of the spindle and the inside of the fireboard equally. And they're going to start to fill this kind of V-shaped notch that I have here. But that old adage you hear where you see smoke, you see fire is whole crap when it comes to primitive fire making method. So there's a magic temperature. So what I need to do first is I need to fill this notch with that wood dust. But it is not a coal yet. It becomes a coal and it kind of magically coagulates together at about 800 degrees Fahrenheit. And right at the little crook of that notch is where some dust coagulates together and it turns into a coal. And then what happens is I get that coal, it's in a little piece of tinder, which I will then transfer to a larger tinder bundle, hopefully. Now there's something known as the demon of demonstration. And then I will blow the tinder bundle into flames. So I'm always thankful before I do this fire making method, because parts of the animal, parts of a tree, of a plant, have given themselves willingly for me to work this skill. So I always want to be thankful to those entities. Now one thing I will tell you, this fire making method has absolutely, positively nothing to do with muscles. You know, people see this and they think, oh, you got to put a lot of muscle into that. It's not the case. You know, last week I did this kids class and I had 7-year-old kids getting their bow drill, and I've helped 90-year-old people in retirement communities get their bow drill fired. So it's not really about strength. It is all about technique and form and muscle memory. It's like anything in life. It's all about technique and the form you use, and good parts. So you notice here my foot is going over the fireboard. It is of the utmost importance that I keep this absolutely still, otherwise I won't collect that dust. You'll notice I'm creating this box right here between my knee, my crotch, and the ground. My knee here is in line with my heel, and to be balanced I can kind of kick this leg out. And that's one of the hardest things about bow drill at first is being balanced in this position. So very simply what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start bowing back and forth. And you'll notice here pretty quickly, see I've already created smoke. It's like a lighter, but different. Very much so. So I've just created a child. Fire is an absolute living being. You have to feed it, it creates waste, and fire was very sacred to our ancestors and to other primitive peoples. You know, fire, like I said, cooked their food, purified their water, was often the center of very sacred ceremonies, and it was treated as such. Fire kit, not me. So very simple tool at the height of its technology. You can't improve upon it anymore with modern materials. And it's just one of those things that is timeless.
What is this material?